Hello and welcome to Giggling Gaming. I'm your host Jalindo.
And I'm the wife.
And today we're playing
80 Days.
So 80 Days is a new game that's out on Steam currently. Its release date was September 28th, 2015. And it's described as 1872 with a steampunk twist. I'm going to go ahead and click It Would Seem here. I've entered into the service of a new gentleman. It would seem he is a gambling man. Phileas Fogg has wagered he can circumnavigate the world in just 80 days. Time Magazine's game of 2014 and winner of the IGF Award for Narrative, now available on Steam. Choose your own route around a 3D globe, traveling by airship, submarine, mechanical, and it just cuts off from there. But it's basically, yeah, you travel all around the world doing various things in various ways, and your job is to get around the world in 80 days.
In a mechanical something or another.
Mechanical something or another.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, just add words to that. So what do you think of that setup there?
Sounds fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun. This game is so epic, it has credits at the beginning of the game.
I was going to say, it looks like a movie. Like, I almost want to go, in a world.
In a world.
Yeah, I wasn't going to attempt the voice.
In a world where you can circumnavigate the globe in 80 days. 80 Days, that's the name of our game right there. Based on the novel by Jules Verne. Hey, there's a red dot in England. It's London. You ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Okay, guys, there is a lot of text in this game. I'm going to be reading all the dialogue as best I can, but it is very dialogue heavy, so be prepared for that. London. There's a giant begin button at the bottom. We're going to click that. Yeah. Here we go. And once the game actually starts flowing, time goes by very fast. So when we have to make decisions, I'm going to have to kind of push us to make the decisions really quickly, so we don't waste too much time.
He's looking at me.
I'm staring at the wife right now. What are we gonna do here? I don't know. Well, maybe we're gonna.
What do you want to do?
We're gonna do this. That's what we're gonna do. All right, Monsieur Phileas Fogg returned home early from the Reform Club in a new-fangled steam carriage. Besides, I helped him down, and the iron-lunged, steam-driven horses clattered away. Passez partout, said he. We are going around the world. Around the world, monsieur? Or very good, monsieur? What do you think?
Around the world?
Around the world, monsieur? I asked, utterly astonished. We shall circumnavigate the globe within 80 days. He was quite calm as he proposed this wild scheme. We leave for Paris on the 8:25 in an hour. Here's your choices, but I have not prepared. You are in jest, or this is a shocking turnabout.
You are in jest.
You are in jest, I told him in a dignified affront. You make mock of me, monsieur. I am quite serious. Pack an altimeter and my evening jacket. There is not a moment to waste. You, passez partout, now have funds. Your character is now polished. Okay, it looks like a route to Paris. I played a little bit of this. Oh yeah, where time is running. We got to pack. Played a little bit of this up front. He said to pack an altimeter. Here's an altimeter, part of the Air Traveler set. And here's his evening jacket. 2 of 3 owned of the Englishman's wardrobe set. And we also have a wax cylinder, valuable in Vienna, Paris, and Copenhagen. We're about to go to Paris. This one's a deck of playing cards of interest to humorous, stalwart, official soldier types. And this is a shipping table for European shipping. I think we want to take this wax cylinder because, we only have, up here we only have 4,000 pounds. And we got to make it all the way around the globe. So, yeah, we're going to have to make sure we make do with, being able to make money on our way, right? So time stopped here. We got wool trousers, wool shirt, evening jacket. We have a complete Englishman's wardrobe set. A pocket altimeter, which is 1/2 of the Air Traveler set. And then we have a wax cylinder, which will be valuable in Paris, which we're going. Okay? Is that good?
That's good.
Okay. We're going to exit Fogg's apartment.
No playing cards.
No playing cards.
We'll have to use our imaginations for fun.
So we've completed the Englishman's wardrobe. Should help us negotiate times of upper-class journeys. So we're going to depart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's depart. So here's our first trip. We're going to go on the trip to Paris. We can embark now. They can hold 1 suitcase. We have 1 suitcase. It's going to cost 0 health. This little heart thing. Monsieur has 100 hearts. We got to make sure, since we're his valet, we have to make sure that he stays happy and healthy on the trip as we make it around the world.
We have to make sure he stays hardy.
Exactly. And we're going to be taking the AMPHITRITE Express. And, yeah, arrives tomorrow. Departs at 8 p.m. It is currently 8 p.m., so we are running late. Embark.
Well, hurry.
I'm really glad time doesn't run for this part, but later on it'll be running pretty much constantly. The guard's van has space for one suitcase, which will suffice, and travel. This is going to be a bearable route, so here we go. And we're on a carriage. We're heading on a carriage to the train station. This is one of those steam carriages. Crazy, right? The mechanical horses raced past Piccadilly Circus and Pall Mall faster than a team of thoroughbreds. Even so, the whistle of the 825 was blowing as we pulled up to Charing Cross Station. "We have no tickets," I exclaimed, or we raced along the concourse and threw ourselves aboard.
Just throw yourselves aboard.
We raced along the concourse and threw ourselves aboard as the second whistle shrieked its warning. We barely had time to take our seats before the guard rapped smartly on the compartment door. He held out a hand. "Tickets, please." "Alas, monsieur, we are in a great hurry," or I pretended to have lost them.
We're in a hurry.
"We're in a hurry," I explained, giving him a beseeching look. "We did not have time to buy tickets." "You may purchase them from me," the guard was saying, "though it is more expensive, I'm afraid. £85, please." We can argue with him or hand over £85.
Just hand over the money.
Okay.
We have no time to argue.
We hand over the £85. I handed over the £85 and smiled a thin smile from one working man to another. The guard gave me our tickets and slid the compartment door shut behind him with a pneumatic hiss. "Your funds have gone down somewhat, so we're down to £3,915, making our way to Paris." And here we go. So on our trip, we can converse. We're going to talk to Monsieur Fogg. Passepartout. We can talk about money or journey.
Journey.
"But tell me, monsieur, what is the purpose of our journey? I have made a hefty wager, and I do not intend to lose." Now talk about money.
Yes.
"This journey will be most expensive, monsieur." "Indeed, but we can earn a little from buying and selling our possessions as we travel."
Very good.
That's right. Okay, so the time's going. You see the time going by here. It's 11 p.m. And London's smog gave way to rolling hills and the pastures of the Kentish countryside, still untouched by the hand of technological advancement. Monsieur Fogg read his paper while I repacked our bags, or we passed the day in silence.
Reading the paper.
Okay, read the paper. Thrown together in haste and confusion. As afternoon turned inexorably to evening, I discovered that my master was one of those gentlemen who broke their silence rarely, if at all. A guard rapped on our door.
That one.
A few miles before Dover. We're about to submerge, he warned. Take some people a bit funny, so watch out. What do you mean submerge? But it is safe, is it not, or very good?
What do you mean submerge?
What do you mean submerge? I cried. This is the London to Paris AMPHITRITE Express, he explained, as though to a particularly dim-witted child. The submersible train? Talk of all the London papers? I must have missed it, or then this is the mare train.
I must have missed it.
I must have missed it, I admitted humbly. Missed it, he said scornfully. Every inch of her has been examined and stamped by the artificer's seal. This is the world's only bath-escape locomotive. I could not help but shiver or press my face to the window glass.
I pressed my face.
Pressed face. I pressed my face to the window glass as the fins above the AMPHITRITE's wheels extended with a hydraulic hiss. Night fell and we plunged past the end of the track into freezing water of the English Channel. Your character is now manicured. There we go. Underwater and now back on land. You seem to have a flair for trouble, Passepartout. The AMPHITRITE plowed through the water overnight and splashed up onto wider gauge French tracks at Calais as dawn broke. Do you have a route in mind, monsieur, or I began to consider what we might require for our journey?
Ask, do you have a route in mind?
Do you have a route in mind, monsieur? I asked as the water of the channel dried from the compartment windows. I am as yet undecided, my master admitted. The new canal has sped up the shipping route from Suez to Bombay, though perhaps we could take the Trans-Siberian Railway across Russia. So do you want to say, surely not Bombay, or surely not Siberia?
What is the difference?
Which one do you not want to go to? Do you not want to go to Siberia or not want to go to Bombay?
Oh, Siberia.
Surely not Siberia, I exclaimed. It is so cold and grim. And I have a particular fear of bears. Then we would do well to buy furs, he replied, refraining from rolling his eyes. There are other alternatives. We may also travel over land and across the Black and Caspian seas. We can ask which is fastest or which is safest.
Fastest.
But which is fastest? I believe, said he, that that is what we shall put to the test, parbleu. Put to the test. Parbleu! I scarcely knew what to think. We arrived at Paris, Gare du Nord, just after 1 o'clock.
I'm glad you're reading because I'd totally be butchering all of this stuff.
Hope it's good. Automaton porters lifted our luggage and then our persons onto the platform with long, delicately filigreed iron arms. Paris, city of my heart. I was home, but not to stay. New routes discovered. We got a route from Suez down here, down to Jeddah, all the way around to Aden, over to Bombay.
So the clock stops when we're reading.
Yeah, and when we're looking at stuff like this. Moscow, there's a route going across Siberia to Ekaterinburg, to whatever that says, to Karamskaya, to Beijing. So we're going to continue our journey now. And we're arriving in Paris. So clock's going. We can go to the market, bank, or explore. We definitely need to explore, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the explore button. Okay. So that's going to take 4 hours for us to explore. New routes discovered. To Amsterdam, to Munich, to Vienna. We had a few hours to spare. I asked Monsieur Fogg if I might enjoy my city before we had to leave. Indeed. And should you learn anything of note, be sure to relay it. I nodded and headed into town. So I'm going to check the market pretty soon after we get through whatever we're doing, okay? Because it's going to be dark, getting dark soon. And talk of the streets was of one thing only. An enormous, elegant oval stadium constructed upon the green fields of Champ de Mars and containing the technological marvels, art, amusement parks, and milling crowds of the World's Fair of 1872.
I ventured inside.
I ventured inside the grand illuminated pavilions of the exposition. What's next?
I went west towards the airship hangar.
Past a booth with a husband and wife pair selling panoramic hot air balloon rides eager tourists. Yeah.
Ooh, let's see how much it is.
I inquired as to their hourly rate, wondering if perhaps the balloon could be encouraged to go a little way east as well and contribute to our great journey. £80 for half an hour flight, the man responded.
That's robbery.
I gasped. No, that's going to be I gasped. I gasped. That is robbery. The man shrugged. We're the only balloonists here today. Are you willing to miss out on an experience of a flight over Paris?
I'm going around the world,
I replied. I hope for much more impressive sights in the days to come. The man nodded and moved on to the next punter with great swiftness.
I returned
to the main hub of the exposition. Avenues sprawled in every direction between the inviting, illuminated pavilions of the exposition.
Let's do the artificer.
An artificer, or perhaps an artificer. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that.
I said artificer.
I have no idea how to pronounce that, but artificer was replacing an arc light, which had burned out. She first disconnected the strange machine powering the lights. It had a spinning iron wheel which was wound around with a series of armature coils.
What's that device?
What's that device, artificer? I asked politely, my eye straying to the copper lily pin which proclaimed her profession. It's a bleeding nuisance is what it is, the artificer grumbled in a thick Yorkshire accent. These gram machines are finicky beasts.
Gram machines?
Gram machines, I inquired. Well, it's oh, never mind. She waved my question away. It's a steam engine, all right? Only it doesn't make steam. Will that do? I hate explaining this stuff to laymen.
I retreated hastily.
Not at all in terror, but of her irate tone, merely aware there were delights and wonders aplenty, well away from annoyed Yorkshire-bred artificers. Crowds of tourists jostled and heaved past, and their eyes wide with wonder.
I took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations.
I took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations, lined with buildings in the styles of nations of the world, and manned by foreign delegates in national dress. One of these.
Although the newly formed.
Okay. Although the newly formed German Empire was a conspicuous absentee. In the city it had so recently conquered.
Replica village.
The Zulu Federation had... You picked that because it has the word Federation in it, didn't you? You Trekkie.
I can't help it.
We're both Trekkies. I'm okay with that. The Zulu Federation had built a replica village and brought a delegation of 400 diplomats and warriors, which was concerning.
Was concerning the French soldier. I'm sorry.
Was concerning the French soldiers. Guarding the expedition somewhat. Above the display was a fine ferrotype of their great emperor, Setseshwayo, in his palace of Ulundi.
One of the young
impy warriors dropped his fierce look and winked brightly at a passing child who erupted into shy giggles.
You have made a powerful friend.
You have made a powerful friend, I remarked to the child, who seemed startled to receive this news, and ran off into the crowd. I turned away hurriedly. My feet were tiring, and the hour was growing late. I returned to Monsieur Fogg, who was eating a meal of plain boiled beef à la grasse, à l'anglaise? Boiled beef à l'anglaise. Did you enjoy the expedition? My master inquired diffidently.
Let's have a meal and a newspaper.
Having preferred a hearty meal and an English newspaper to all the wonders that the modern world had to offer. How are we going to reply to that?
We will travel by airship.
Will we travel by airship, do you suppose? I asked. I think it highly likely, he replied. They are expensive but extremely fast. I dreamed that night of mechanical wonders and automatons with beautifully enameled faces, knowing little of the strange inventions of stranger peoples I would soon encounter in my journey around the world.
I did ask for the fastest route.
Okay, we're in Paris. I'm going to grab another suitcase, if I can, and grab Berlin, Gentleman Traveler, Copenhagen, Warsaw, Budapest. Let's grab this and grab the geometry set. And why not the traveling cloak?
So we're buying these things.
Yeah, we're buying these things with our money. And we also got to sell, we want to sell the wax cylinder because we're in Paris. 470. So now we're actually up. We're at 4,314. And time is going by, so we need to get moving. Let's plan our trip. So we can either go to Nice, we can go to Vienna, or we can go to Amsterdam. Where would you like to go? This one arrives on Saturday, departs in 2 days. The one to Amsterdam departs tomorrow, and the one to Nice departs in 3 days.
I want to go to Vienna.
Vienna? Okay, we'll go to Vienna. It departs in 2 days, so we got some time to kill. So we'll have to stay in the hotel. And it's morning. We took a hotel for the night. We will be comfortable here, Monsieur Fogg remarked. But traveling overnight will often be more efficient.
Where?
Where possible. We cannot travel where it is not possible, certainly, he replied. Still, the surrounds of the Hotel Ritz were most enjoyable. Okay, we could depart and go to Amsterdam today, but you wanted to go to Vienna, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to go back to Paris. And there's nothing really to do, so we're going to stay in the hotel again, it looks like. Sleep a full day. And then today we depart. With what remained of the day, I
engaged another guest in conversation.
Engaged another guest in conversation to learn what I could, hearing from him that the most efficient way to Vienna is via Munich. A most interesting snippet.
What's a snippet?
It's a snippet. So we're going to Vienna, correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to embark on a train. It's going to take... It can only take one suitcase. Which means we probably... Uh-oh, I overbought.
Well, then let's go to a different place.
We can go to Vienna, it's fine.
Okay.
If we go here, it'll be car, and we won't be able to carry it anyway. I'm gonna get rid of this pocket altimeter. I'm gonna sell that.
Oh, you are selling it? You're not just getting rid of it?
Yeah, you have to sell it and get rid of it. Worth 2,300 in Berlin. Are we going by Berlin? I can't remember.
By Munich.
Going by Munich. Okay, I want to keep this, and I want to keep this. We're gonna sell that traveling cloak I bought, and then that'll let us get on that train. One overhead suitcase.
You have 2 suitcases.
I got rid of the other suitcase though. I sold
I thought
everything.
you were just selling what was inside the suitcase.
And I just have to get rid of the case after that.
Ah.
Boarding the Orient Express. Try again. Boarding the Orient Express was an altogether calmer affair than our race through London had been. Mechanical porters loaded us in through the windows, then snapped them shut with a delicate click.
It was fast.
The train was extremely fast, and could sweep us across the whole of Europe, or at least as far as the Dutch Kaiserreich, where the track currently ceased. I guess that would be German Kaiserreich, Kingdom, German Empire. There we go, Kaiserreich. That'd be Empire. That would be German. See, I know languages. I know languages. A last long whistle blew, and we began our journey east. So, converse?
Converse.
Okay. Greetings, monsieur. Can I help you at all, monsieur? I am the guard of this train. We can talk about Vienna? Mm-hmm. Okay, Vienna. They say all the musicians of Vienna are drafted into the military. Vienna to Budapest, Prague, Venice, Zurich, or Dubrovnik.
Budapest.
Budapest. Is there a route from Vienna to Budapest? Yes, one can travel in a private car from Vienna to Budapest, but the journey is a tiring one. Belgrade, Bucharest, Odessa, Dubrovnik. What do you want?
Venice.
We're already going to be in Venice.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we're not going to be in Venice. Never mind. Venice. Look here, you can obtain carnival masks in Venice that will sell for a fortune in Italia. So it didn't tell us if we could travel there. Great. Okay, we're in Munich. Do we want to... my master wished to be undisturbed as we left Paris. Which one?
I left him and went to explore.
I left him and went to explore the train. There was a delightful dining car and an observation deck formed by the replacement of an entire compartment with an open glass tube.
I attended the dining car.
I attended the dining car and found a few groups of people talking quietly. I
eavesdropped shamelessly.
I eavesdropped shamelessly, like any good butler would. Overhearing a conversation between a young composer and 2 Parisian ladies who, it transpired, were heading to the same concert in Vienna.
Oh, I continued to listen.
I continued to listen, curious for details about that city. Of course, my wife would want to do this. My papa said it's very dangerous, remarked one girl, whose name I learned was Isobel Poitiers. He says the emperor is spoiling for war.
Oh, I continued to listen.
I continued to listen to the youngsters, but their chatter turned to matters of hats, and though I was interested, or I am a valet.
I find it truly tedious.
And though I'm a valet, but there are some aspects of my task I find truly tedious. So I left them to their talk, and I returned to Monsieur Fogg, who, to my surprise, looked up from his paper at me. What did you learn? He inquired.
I told him.
I told him of the rumblings of war from Vienna, but he seemed indifferent. I do not think war will break out by the day after tomorrow, he observed, so I think we will be safe. I had nothing more to say. Your character is now mannered. Here we go, going to Vienna. Gonna make it over there. We arrived at Vienna in the early hours of the morning. The customs officials insisted on searching our bags for, of all things, artificing tools. I queried the official or refused?
Go ahead, let him.
I queried the official. Foreigners are forbidden from making automata within the borders of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, he repeated with a bored expression. A strange state of affairs.
Which troubled me.
Invention should not be trampled by autocratic whim. It was therefore with some apprehension that I greeted Vienna, city of music. Here we go. Vienna. There seem to be no departures today. We should explore a little. Okay, it's 5 a.m. Nothing's open yet. We're going to explore for 4 hours, yes?
Yes.
Exploring till it gets kind of light out. There's our routes. We can go to Warsaw or Venice.
Venice.
Really, you want to go to Venice?
Venice.
We're trying to get around the world. You're taking us back. But okay.
No, it's okay.
No,
okay.
we go. We can go to Venice. We can go to Venice. I did not see a single flesh and blood soldier in Vienna, the city of music. My dear friends, the rumors are quite real. The Austro-Hungarian Empire might is built upon its armies of mechanical men.
Magnificent sight.
They are a magnificent sight, ranged in gleaming rows along the wide Parisian-style boulevards. Their enamel uniforms shine to a polish.
As I watched, I was approached.
As I watched, I was approached by a bookish fellow who hurried out from under the impressive eagle-arched portcullis of the Zagos, the Imperial Armory. You think them fantastical, he demanded, a curious turn to his voice.
Glorious.
Glorious, I replied, beautifully crafted. They are more impressive than you could imagine. He stuck out his hand. Herr Danzer, apprentice engineer in the Imperial Kriegsorchester.
We went to a cafe to talk.
I get no kudos for pronouncing Kriegsorchester in one go without even trying? Really?
To be honest, I was reading ahead, so I didn't even hear it.
Alright, fine.
You keep telling me to hurry and make decisions, so I have to read ahead so I can hurry up and make the decisions. But then when I make the decisions, you tell me, why? What?
Well, during dialogue, the time doesn't go, so we're good during dialogue.
Oh, okay. Want to say it again? Say it again.
Imperial Kriegsorchester. That's probably not the right pronunciation, but that's how I read that word in English.
That was so impressive.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you noticed it on the first try.
But I wouldn't know the difference.
Neither would I, but that's okay.
Okay, go to the cafe and talk to the guy.
Okay, we went to the cafe to talk, and once he started, he would not stop. Have you noticed none of the mechanical soldiers carry weapons? He hissed. What did you make of that?
It's most unusual.
It is most unusual, I agreed. Inside each one is a Mozart Haydn device, perfectly tuned, Herr Danzer replied. The song the soldiers sing is one of devastation. The battalion in harmony can punch through a steel wall. He drew a gilded flute from a scabbard and laid it on the table, looking at it thoughtfully.
They understand music?
The automata understand music, I asked. No, he answered, uninterested in my line of thinking. They merely respond to musical pitch and tone. I cannot reproduce his entire explanation, for it rather stretched my German. But it seems the mechanical armies of Austria-Hungary are controlled by music. Will you be staying in the city tonight? He asked.
I hope not.
I hope not. We must travel as fast as possible. He nodded. Very wise. Events are on the move here. If you stayed, you would not see you would see for yourself.
Is it worth seeing?
Is it worth seeing? I persisted. You are traveling, he replied. The army is traveling into Belgrade.
And what of you?
And what of you? Will you ever leave Vienna? I dream of it, he confessed. As a boy, I longed to join the Artificers Guild, but for someone born in this country, it is impossible. The Kaiser and the Guild are sworn enemies.
We're politically neutral.
The Guild, I reminded him, were politically neutral. He shook his head. The Guild are forbidden within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Our automata are not Guild-approved. They are our own. His mouth was a cold line. The Guild would not countenance building such monsters. Thanking him for the coffee, I strolled back along the avenues, watching the city pass by with new eyes. Under his gilded and manicured beauty lurked something sharper and more bloodthirsty. Vienna was at once the city of music and the city of war. Okay, let's check the market. Got a pressure gauge for an engineer set. This one's an engineer set. Dusty road set. Worth $2,900 in Italia. I'm going to take these for sure. Just in case we can manage it, I'm going to keep that in our extra suitcase and hope we don't lose it.
To sell it later?
Yeah. These are cheap. Let's go ahead and buy these. A lot of these are really cheap, so there's, You know, if they're really cheap, you might as well grab them and we can sell them somewhere else. And they might even be worth more if we sell them somewhere else. So, time's going by. We want to depart. We can go to Budapest by car. We can go Warsaw. It departs tomorrow.
Let's go to Budapest by car.
Okay, Budapest. Now, by car, it's going to take 2 suitcases. We're going to lose 9 health going by car.
Okay, and what about the other one up north?
If we go up north, it will be the Gallant Rider departs to Warsaw tomorrow. I think we have something we can actually sell in Warsaw.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we can adjust the departure. The Englishman wardrobe should yield results. Continue. Let's try to adjust the departure.
It doesn't take any hearts, and you can take up to 3 luggage.
Yeah, I think. I think that's the way it is. Yeah, 3 luggage. For some reason, I can't. You click on it. It appears we cannot go this way today. Okay, so we can't negotiate.
At least tomorrow at noon.
We couldn't negotiate for an earlier departure, so we're gonna go for a hotel. We'll pass the night, and then we're gonna. We found a room in the newly opened Hotel Imperial in the suite built for Duke Philip of Württemberg's maidservant. What do we say?
The view along was impressive.
The view along the Ringstraße was impressive. And as I looked, I saw lines and lines of mechanical soldiers marching along the road. What do you think?
The people of the city were moving quickly.
The people of the city were moving quickly out of their path, as though these automata could not be trusted.
I went and followed them.
I went to follow them, curious as to the meaning of these late-night maneuvers. The night air had a chill, but of course, that did not trouble the fleshless army, who marched in lockstep fashion. Their path took them to the train station, where they halted a moment, then began to file inside. I
was more curious than ever.
I was more curious than ever. A musician at the back of the procession caught my eye. I beckoned him over.
What is this procession?
What is this procession? I demanded. War is coming, the man replied. We must prepare our borders. We are taking the train to Belgrade. Now get going before the soldiers see you. The threat was clear. I ran down the side alley, over a wall, and then limped my way back to the hotel and Monsieur Fogg, to whom I explained...
Nothing.
Nothing, really?
Nothing.
Okay, nothing. Nothing. Which was clearly safer and less troubling course. Your relationship with Fogg has strengthened slightly. Okay. So now we have there's a course that goes all the way to Istanbul. Are we still going to Moscow? Or Warsaw?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Warsaw on the Gallant Rider. Luggage, we have plenty of room for luggage, so we're going to take both our suitcases. And here we go on the Gallant Rider. Locomotive. It was not the Orient Express that took us northeast from Vienna towards Warsaw. That train traveled to exotic locations. We were destined for the gloomy cold of the north, into the paws of the bare Russia.
I fell into conversation with a Russian gentleman.
I fell in... Now, are you doing this as the wife or as Monsieur Passepartout? Passepartout. His name is really hard to say.
Can't we just call him Bob?
We could call him Bob, but he's Passepartout.
Okay. Would you rather me do it as Bob?
No. We can do it as the valet. I fell in conversation with a Russian gentleman who, as he told me at great length, was making the long journey back to Vladivostok via Moscow and the Trans-Siberian Express. Are you laughing at me?
Oh no, I am impressed.
I'm funny to you. Okay, sorry. Okay, I asked him about Moscow. Ask him about Moscow, the Trans-Siberian Railway, or about our journey.
Let's ask him about Moscow.
I asked him about Moscow, and he shrugged. A nice enough city to pass through, he said, but not one to stay in. Too easy to offend the Tsar and his loyalists there. The train juddered.
I asked him about the Trans-Siberian... ...
I asked him about the... Nice. I asked him about the Trans-Siberian, and his ruddy face lit up. Now there is a train, he enthused, warming to the subject. It is capable of lifting off and levitating at higher speeds. The Tsar keeps it slow on purpose because he does not quite trust it. He bid me farewell, and I returned to my compartment. So here we go, converse.
Converse?
Pretty much you always want to converse.
right.
Monsieur, yes, I am the guard on this train. Warsaw. Talk to him about Warsaw. Have you heard that one can travel in a public carriage from Warsaw to Budapest? What do we want to talk to him about? Warsaw to Minsk, Berlin, Prague, Bucharest. Let's talk about, how about Berlin? Berlin. I think you're out of luck there. Now tell me, some people say I'm very serious. Is he serious or not?
Surely not.
I cannot see that, monsieur. That is kind of you, monsieur, but I know it. I do not have a sense of humor at all. Warsaw. Tell me about Warsaw. How about to Minsk or Prague?
Minsk.
Is it possible to travel from Warsaw to Minsk? I believe so. Minsk can be reached from Warsaw aboard the Belarus Express. Minsk to Moscow? Prague? Prague. Is there a route from Minsk to Prague? I must go. It is late. Goodbye. Okay, so we're going to Minsk, and then that goes to Moscow. And we're on the Gallant Rider getting there on time. The train itself was comfortable enough and fast. We arrived in Warsaw before nightfall. Choo-choo, choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. And how about let's take a pause here.
Okay.
We've been going about 36 minutes.
Wow.
This it's a lot of fun. What do you think of this game so far?
I have never played anything like it.
Really?
Yeah, I've never. It's very different than anything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
I like
making
it a
the
lot.
decisions things, it's like, I don't know. It's very, very cool.
It's really cool. I'm really impressed with it. It's already been released on Steam. I'm excited about it. I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. This feels like series material to me.
Oh, yeah. Just think of all the different possibilities with the decisions that you're making.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, it's developed and published by Inkle Ltd. Developer also in conjunction with Cape Guy Ltd. Limited liability company, I guess. And then there'll be links in the description below for the website and the Steam store page. So check that out. We've been playing
80 days.
And I've been Jalindo, and you have been
The Wife.
And if you like this video, please be sure to hit the
subscribe button.
And remember,
Keep it clean.